Okay, so Carolyn just shared with me that the one that's the most difficult around his head is the darkest one, and then this is the second to the hardest, and this one is relatively easy, but none of them are easy. These animals were rescued from Montana, and we don't have any idea what may or may not have happened to them or why they may be difficult. I mean, we do know that they've been neglected, that's for sure, but we don't know whether or not they've been beaten or anything else, and it really doesn't matter, honestly, because we're just going to address the behavior. Where it came from is interesting, and actually we will never know really why they behave the way that they behave. So it's really the more that we try to make up stories about why they're doing what they're doing, the more it gets in the way of just focusing on the behavior and helping them come up with a more productive behavior for us. Okay? So I'll just start with this dark guy. And so what I'm going to do is give him an escape route. That's Max. Max? Max. He looks like a Max, by golly. Do you think Max knows it's his turn? Yeah. Kind of do, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I should say, has your experience been that any of these animals become aggressive or try to hurt you when you're working with them?
Actually, not at all.
Okay.
They have never kicked.
Llamas really kick much less than alpacas, by the way. So I have a connection through that rope. If I were to pull, now I just preempted him, or did my best to keep him from losing his balance anymore. But if I put steady pressure in there, what do you reckon he would do with his weight? Shift it which way?
Away from
Against you, right?
And if you want to take that halter off, Marty, that's fine.
I'll probably just pretend like it's not there. So what I want him to see is that if he needs to move, I'll give him a forward escape route. Come on, Max. That a boy. There you go.
Is it important to be pushing on his backside?
Well, I don't have enough with a llama. I generally it needs to be a two-point effort. Easy, son. he stops investing in turning away and won't take my escape route, he's going to own me.
Yeah.
You can see what happens.
I took note of how you used your hips to push him over.
And the other thing that you can do is put more animals in the pen or make your pen smaller. And sometimes using a half pen with an animal who's really difficult makes all the difference in the world. Gear bag is just over there by the table. It's the one that I had made out of that banner. And sometimes, I would love to do more body work on him, but I'd be selling away my own principles, wouldn't I, if I decided to wrestle with him to do the body work. Wouldn't work. So I'm just going to see what we've got in terms of if he's in balance, if he will be more amenable to putting a halter on, even if I haven't worked his mouth. Usually plan A is I'd like to work with their mouth, I'd like to do some nice body work, but sometimes you have to make changes.
He is so hard to halter, that halter stays on all the time.
And you're wiser to do that than to turn haltering into a big fight every time you want to put it on, I think. But I would be willing to bet, like most llamas, he has not, the halter's never been anything that he's been involved in. It's always been done to him. And sometimes just the act of letting them see it and being involved with it makes all the difference in the world. And the other thing that you could do is use food and use clicker training to. We won't take the time right now because I want to get us going. But and honestly, Max, just have a look at it, honey. Boy. That's it. So my feeling is it's more meaningful right now to say, I'm not going to force this on you. I wanted you to just have a look at it, and we'll just call it a day right now.
Okay.
He's going to be here tomorrow, is that right? And I would like to. Easy side. I would like to. Be able to put on a halter that I think fits a little bit. And I'm just taking advantage of the fact that he's wearing one to maybe touch his mouth, because a lot of times, and then let him just think about that overnight. Because a lot of times the reason that they're so difficult to halter has to do with the fact that their mouths, that they've never had their mouth handled in a way that they actually could take it in. Are you guys holding your breath? Because if you are, it would be great if you wouldn't. Good boy. But I'm using his halter now to balance him. I'm not trying to hold him with it. That's a boy. There we are. What do you think, huh? Look at that. That's not so terrible, huh? So now I'm not using the halter anymore. That's it.
But you're using your left left-handed balancing.
Yep. And I'm doing lifts now. He just swallowed. That's a really nice thing. So that's nice.